With the shooting of Jacob Blake by police officers making national headlines just 2 days after it happened, Jacob Blake's father has finally decided to speak out. Uh, so now, of the 8 shots, I previously reported it as 7 because that's what we knew at the time. Blake Sr. told the Chicago Sun Times, quote, "What justified all those shots? What justified doing that in front of my grandsons? What are we doing?" So now understand, right, that what Jacob Blake was doing is what he was trying to break up a fight between two women, right? So now he was successful. He broke up the fight. Police came to the scene. He was walking to his SUV, got his shirt grabbed by an officer, and ended up being shot in the back 8 times in front of his family. So that's the situation. Okay. So now Blake's partner, Lakeisha Booker, told NBC's Milwaukee affiliate, and what she did is that she filled in some of the details, right? She talked to WTMJ TV and said that the couple's 3 children were in the backseat of the SUV when police shot him. Quote, "That man just literally grabbed him by his shirt and looked the other way and was just shooting him, with the kids in the back screaming, screaming. They start to wrestle," said another witness at the scene, who spoke on condition of anonymity. The officer is punching him. 2 officers come to assist. They get him down on the curb behind his vehicle. Somehow he manages to stand up. They said he has a knife. All of the officers pull out their guns. One of the officers tells him, "Get out of the car," and he starts shooting. The witness said he never saw a knife. So, look, to me, that's, I don't know if you guys have ever seen South Park, but it's coming right for me. It's coming right for us, right? One of those things. It's coming right for us. I have no, I have no choice but to shoot him. Well, that's kind of like he's got a knife, or he's got a gun, or he's going for his waistband, right? In reality, he didn't have a knife. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers said on Monday that he's seen no information to suggest Blake had a knife or any other weapon on his person, but does say the case is still being investigated, right? So witnesses say didn't have a weapon, had no knife. So then why the justification? Why shoot him 8 times in the back? I mean, no threat to the police, right? Was getting beat on by police for no reason, right? Because I guess apparently, like if you're a conservative, you think, oh no, if you you know disrespect the police whatsoever, if you decide not to submit 100% to the cops game of Simon Says, right? And being treated as if you're you're a criminal when you haven't done anything wrong, then that is worthy of being executed. And that's basically what happens, right? So now, again, he wasn't under arrest. He didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't initially violent towards the police officer until the police officers were violent towards him, according to this one witness, right? So if the cop starts beating you up and you go to try to, block or defend yourself in some way, you're being assaulted for no reason, well, then they can use that as justification to murder you. And that seems to be what's happening here, right? So now his father said, quote, "There are now 8 holes in my son's body, and that he is now paralyzed from the waist down." So that's the situation, right? Look, this person could very well end up in a wheelchair, right? Paralyzed for the rest of his life, okay? For absolutely no reason. And in America, where we don't guarantee health care for people, that's kind of sort of a double whammy, right? It's even worse. Who's going to pay for those medical bills? Who's going to pay for that, right? Doctors don't even know that the injury is going to be permanent or not. So he could be paralyzed for the rest of his life. Even if he's not, years of recovery, rehabilitation, constant care, right? The costs are going to be enormous. And right now, the costs are going to fall on him or his family. The only way to recoup that is through the police department of the city, which also means these police officers are going to end up costing the taxpayers of Kenosha and Wisconsin millions and millions of dollars, right? So this is what happens when you let police get out of control. Even if you don't care about black lives, right? Then, well, you should care about the costs. Police officers now are going to have to pay, if they take it to court and they sue and are successful, millions of dollars for this man's recovery and health problems for the rest of his life. I guess maybe that's why police are probably, and I know this is a morbid thing to say, but police and conservatives are probably like, darn, wish he would have, maybe they should have killed him. I mean, understand that that's what a lot of conservatives think. They don't mind when police kill black people and shoot black people. In fact, there are people that love it, that think it's a good thing. I mean, conservatives online are already looking for a way to justify what to us is an unjustifiable shooting. I mean, they're already looking up, oh, did he resist arrest? Did he smoke pot? Because if you do that, I mean, that's worthy of murder, right? He shouldn't have been walking away. Shouldn't have wrestled with the cop. Why didn't he submit to the police officer and play Simon Says? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that they're already saying. While his father is saying this, quote, I just want to put my hand on my son's cheek and kiss him on the forehead, and then I'll be okay. I'll kiss him with my mask. The first thing I want to do is touch my son. That's a father's pain, right? And the pain is real. Pain is real. And that's why these protests are happening, by the way. Because in those communities, they feel that pain, okay? And so that's why you have both peaceful and not so peaceful protests, okay? And understand that while I don't condone the not peaceful protest, I understand it. I get it. And also understand, right? As I mentioned before, I don't think Blake was supposed to survive this. He's lucky. It's almost a miracle he did. He was shot 8 times in the back, right in front of his children. One of his children, okay? In fact, according to his father, the police officers who shot Jacob were, quote, the flint as well as the gasoline, sparking the violence in Kenosha. Those police officers that shot my son like a dog in the street are responsible for everything that has happened in the city of Kenosha. My son is not responsible. My son didn't have a weapon. My son didn't have a gun. Understand, this is a reality, right, of black people in America. I wonder how much longer this is going to happen. I mean, the fact that this stuff like this is still happening, despite weeks of protests for Black Lives Matter, shows you that cops are going to learn. They haven't learned anything. Maybe they're not going to learn anything until we massively first defund them and hold them accountable for their actions. Until then, I don't see anything changing.